My name is Steve Kartstein, and welcome to the Elks Performing Arts Center.
So we're up here on the third floor, and the reason we are is because this is where we're going to start showing some things.
Well, there's banquet halls up here. Bill is up here as well.
Bill?
Bill is up on the roof on top of us.
That's an ex-employee that he's just not allowed back in the building anymore.
Yeah, he has to live on the roof now, so that's how he works.
That's the way it goes.
I'd like to take you through and show you some of the rooms and some of the architecture here from the existing building.
Okay.
And also, right behind us, we have our 11 o'clock. And this clock was the original clock from the Elks. When they built the it wasn't a performing arts center then, it was their lodge. Back in the early 1900s, 1905 or so. This particular clock, they found salvage. It was thrown away and leaning up against the dumpster in the alley when they came through and said, "Oh my God,
That's the Elks clock.
That's the Elks clock." It was just cleaning the place out.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? So they needed to do some repair, but if you take a shot of it, you can see it says 330 along the bottom and BTOE along the top.
Yeah.
And like I said, next door, you'll find a clock like this in every Elks lodge. The hall behind me is called the Crystal Room, and the hall on the other side is the Sundance.
I love the colors,
Yes.
because that's the old Elks stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks great in here with the cream on the walls of all the wainscoting. Really, and
Yes.
Is this the original stuff? Or
This was redone. That's a good point. All of this you see, the architecture that you see is basically original from the Elks.
Okay.
And so it's almost 120 years old. When they were doing the remodel, which took almost 5 years, to keep it in the period of what was the Elks of 1905, 1910. So this is the main ballroom.
All right.
The Crystal Hall, the Crystal Room, and
Okay, because you have crystal chandelier up above the stage.
and that was found in the cellar.
Oh, really?
Just another discard.
Okay.
Waste not, want not. But the barrel ceilings are original. This particular floor was the Elks' private rooms. This is where they had their meetings and they played poker and had their dances and whatever else Elks do. I'm not really sure. We divided it up into two separate spaces. We put in the kitchen behind us. So to give you a sense of where we are, if you could walk through those walls behind us, you would be in the catwalks above the stage.
Gotcha.
And at that end of the building is the balcony in the theater. So that kind of gives you an orientation as to where we are. This was all totally redone by the foundation, the Arts Foundation that I work for, and Jennifer as well. And they did a beautiful, beautiful job.
Yeah, there's some money in this.
Short story, one of the instructors we have on the second floor that teaches ballet and dance, and her grandfather, I believe, was an Elk and played poker up here and actually won the house that they live in a poker game.
Really?
On this floor.
Really?
Yeah, so that was just really.
That's interesting.
Just an interesting story. But it's gorgeous, and if you want to, we can go through that door into, it would be above the theater.
Let's do it.
Take a look at what goes on there. And if you want to take a shot at the kitchen real fast. It's a great kitchen. You know, we have all kinds of events that happen up here. Weddings, parties, business meetings, concerts. We do have private concerts up here.
Oh, really?
As well as what happens in the theater.
If, let's say, you want to use this room, do they call you up to rent the space?
Call me up or email.
You've got a couple of rooms that you're going to show us, so you do have some rooms on it. But how easy is it to get on your calendar?
Pretty easy, pretty easy. We're really flexible, and the more flexible they are with their timing is better. Obviously, the weekends are our busiest time, just like in the theater.
Do you ever have wedding type things up here?
Oh, all the time. Week before last, we had one.
And how is your rental pricing? Not the dollar amount, but just comparatively.
Well, we're a foundation, so we are very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Because there's some advantages to, I mean, a lot of people like to have them outside for whatever because they think it's romantic, but there's some advantages to have a place that has indoor bathrooms, nice looking, no flies buzzing your head when you're trying to eat, things like that. So, and a really nice kitchen. So if you had an event here, how would they be able to access your kitchen, or the people that would have food? How does that work?
We just make the arrangements for them. We act as the go-between for whatever services they've contracted out.
Okay. So it's okay for you to for them to bring in somebody.
Yeah, we provide the space for them. We don't actually provide services. We can make recommendations to local people,
but that's all good with you.
But that's all good with us.
Right, whatever they're going to do.
They're not required to use our people or our booze or anything.
Well, that's a plus.
Yeah, it's a plus for them.
Can you bring alcohol to a building like this without a service?
You can,
Okay.
as long as you're giving it away. If you're
giving it away.
You can't sell it without a
You're giving it
license.
away.
But you're giving it away.
Yeah,
you can
it's
go ahead.
It's a wedding celebration with family and friends and things like that.
Exactly. And this is the Sundance room.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting this.
We have dance classes that happen up here, as well as on the second floor.
Okay.
This particular room, this is the wedding ceremony room more often than not. So when we're having a dual event, the wedding and ceremony, the wedding happens here, the reception is in the main hall.
Well, let me ask you about conferences then. Let's say somebody wants to have a business meeting in here. We're in an historic building, but how are you set up if they say, well, how's your Wi-Fi? Or we want to put some PowerPoints up and all that stuff. How are you?
We're Wi-Fi capable, no charge. So you just log in, accept the terms, and you go. They can bring their own equipment, or we'll provide them with a screen and a projector.
Okay.
We provide all the tables, chairs.
Oh, okay. So somewhere hiding in this building are some tables and chairs.
They are well hidden. They are well hidden. One thing they didn't think about when they did the remodel was storage.
Yeah. Well,
So we're
nobody thinks of storage.
We are quite
You should see
inventive
my
when
house.
it comes to that. But again, you can look around the building, around the room, and it is the same. The barreled ceilings, the lighting is new and updated.
The ceilings are terrific.
But you can see the shutters in here. These are all handmade by a local worker and installed. So when they did the wainscoting and the working, they tried to keep all the work local.
Well, you do have one storage closet back there.
That's a storage closet. If you open it up, it's full of tables.
There you go. Okay, so we are going up to the roof, and the reason is because there's some interesting things up here to show. Oh yeah, we're above the stage.
Literally, if you could fall through here and you don't want to, you'd be sitting, you'd land in the seats.
Oh, you land in the seats.
You'd land in the seats.
In the balcony? Or the bottom, or the first row seats?
First row seats here. Towards that end, you'd be in the balcony.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. Gotcha. If you look to your left here, you can see the backdrops. With different curtains, including the movie screen and everything else, is sitting there, and you can just look down, and there's a stage, the stage below us, and you can just make out the curtain. You had asked a question about, are they connected?
Yeah.
Yes, they are, but no, they're not. But when the Elks originally built the place, there were all kinds of secret passageways and things like that they put in to go back and forth, so that they wouldn't.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they didn't want to have to go out to the street and come back up and go up 3 flights of stairs.
Right.
So they had their stairways.
It's cold outside sometimes.
Yeah, they had it all figured out. They remodeled this. They found those all boarded up and closed off from over the years, and then they had to decide what we were going to do with them, but most of them were closed up and sealed off at this point. So the only way to get here is through the outside and then back in. Be careful going up the stairs. Very exciting. Up in front of us is Bill.
Okay.
Bill is the elk. And this is the original elk that was built for the lodge, Bill. And why do they call him Bill? No one really knows. When the Elks Lodge moved to Prescott Valley, they took Bill with them. and we ended up getting him back, and a replacement bill was put over by the lodge. But they were able to finagle it. So
Smart move.
smart move. So
Because it belongs on this building.
it belongs on this building. It belonged to the Elks, so that when they moved, they took it. It must have been a heck of a deal getting it off the roof. The thing weighs a couple of tons. It was forged here in Prescott 100 years ago. It is beautiful up here.
Yeah.
And I love it up here.
Yeah, because you really can't get this view from hardly any buildings. It's not like
No,
there's a lot of
no.
high rises.
No, absolutely. And you can just see the San Francisco peaks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
just-
there's my house in Flagstaff.
What's that, 100 miles away, give or
Yeah.
take? And so here we are on the second floor.
Okay.
And this is really the heart and soul of what it is we do. We are in Performing Arts Foundation, and this is where it all happens along with the theater. We have 2 different dance studios along with recording booths and music rooms.
Okay.
And so if we go through that door, we can enter into the first dance hall.
I'll follow you. What are we looking at here?
This is a floating hickory. And
So this is your floating floor.
this is, the floor on the other side is floating as well, but
also-
it's a different kind of floor, and we'll go over there and talk about it a little bit. For dancing, this floor has bounce and give. And whereas if you're on a hard surface, you get shin splints and you'd be in pain.
Right.
So this allows the floor to give a little bit when you move on it. There are 2 of these. This one is for contemporary dance, tap. We let some happen here. We also do exercise classes, Zumba, yoga, Tai Chi goes on here. Yeah. Hip hop classes. We have a ballet teacher, and she's in the other hall. We also have Polynesian dance.
All these
classes.
instructors, are they outside people that rent the space, or how does all that work?
Yes. Thank you for asking. Everything here is available for rent from the general public. So we lease the space to the people, to the instructors to use on an hourly or weekly or however they want to structure it. So they come to us, they'll email us, say, have you got space on Saturdays at 3 in the afternoon?
Gotcha.
I want a couple hours to
So
have
you
extra.
calendar this.
We calendar, everything's calendared, so we're not doubling up and tripling
Sure.
up and
Sure.
making a mess of life for everybody.
Right.
They simply come in here, they do their thing, they're turnkey, so they show up at their allotted time and lock the door behind them on the way out.
There's a lot of different instructors.
There are a
There's some
lot.
great backgrounds.
Yes. Our ballet instructor, Nicole Romine, is a classically trained ballet instructor, and she is very, very good. Some of the students she have taught here have been accepted into some of the most prestigious classes in the United States. There's a lot of people that have extensive histories in
Right.
movement, in arts.
One woman from India originally, she was born in India.
That would be Roma Korn.
Right.
She is the Tai Chi instructor.
Right.
They all have, like I said, extensive histories.
Yeah.
We don't vet them in that way.
Sure.
But they come preloaded, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is.
So, anyways, the room itself is they're fairly similar. Some minor differences. They're self-contained. They have their own sound systems, their own heating, their
Nice lighting.
adjustable lighting.
Yeah.
We can definitely make your ears bleed with the sound systems in here. To go.
What's interesting about it, you're in it's kind of very city-ish, very urban the way this building is done, because you've got an older historic building, but yet the insides, everything looks new. So anybody that would want to teach in a building like this, you're getting probably the best that you would want.
Yeah.
More than you would expect.
Exactly.
Now the people that actually want to take the class, how is that? Are you controlling the pricing on that? Is there set pricing on that? Is that up to the instructor?
That's up to the instructor, what they do. We have on our website a listing of classes that are to the public.
Oh, so they can go to your website and that's where their access point.
Yeah, theelkstheater.com.
Okay.
And up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says classes at the Elk.
But the pricing seemed pretty reasonable for some of the dance classes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, $5.
But yeah, I saw
$10.
one was like 15 for something, which still was good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have this kind of thing in such a smaller community.
Yeah, it is an advantage. And our mission for the foundation that we are is to promote the performing arts, the teaching, education, and the performing arts, support the performing arts in Prescott and the Quad City area. We'll open up to just about anybody, any kind of class that wants to come in here, and we're available. We are very inexpensive, reasonably priced, as they say.
Reasonably priced.
Reasonably
Which
priced.
is nice.
But anyways, I'd like to take you across and show you the other dance hall. This is dance one,
Ah, and they got bars.
and this is the,
This makes sense
this would
to
be
me.
for ballet.
Right.
This could also be used for contemporary dance and others. Obviously, it has the bar on the wall. It has the same kind of sound system, lighting, heating, air conditioning, everything is the same. The major difference here is the floor.
Okay.
This is as far as I know, the only professionally installed Marley floor.
Yeah, it's
which
Marley?
Marley, M-A-R-L-E-Y.
Familiar.
And yeah, and
But explain the Marley floor.
Marley was just a guy that invented the floor. The floor is designed for contemporary or ballet dance. It is multi-layered, so that below the vinyl on the floor, the top surface, are the multiple layers of padding and felt underneath.
Right.
So that if you're a ballet dancer and you're doing on point, this is where you want to be. Because
Right.
this is the most comfortable floor you'll find. A lot of grip, a lot of comfort, because you're bouncing really high, you're leaping, but it's really underneath that matters, makes this floor very special.
Okay, well, that was a great tour. We got to see a lot of things with the Elks.
Yeah, the reason that we exist here is to support the performing arts in the Quad City area, and that combines both the theater aspect of the business or the foundation and the performing arts side. And there are a dozen different things that we do in the community that is supported by the people that come to the shows next door in the theater, that volunteer for us, that rent our facilities, our dance studios, rooms upstairs, the event halls upstairs on the third floor. All that money that we receive is turned around and put back into the community here by the Elks Foundation. And it happens through scholarship. We do also music buying program, instrument buying programs for local high schools and middle schools.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Where we literally call up the school and say, "What do you need?" And they'll give us a list of stuff, and we'll, depending on budget, just buy them some stuff and give it to them. And literally, that's what we do. Partnering with some of the local theater groups, nonprofit theater groups, where they get to use the theater and put on their family theater shows. And
Yeah, we do dance recitals, we do graduations, things like that for some of the local schools. It's great. They do their science fair projects up here, so they'll have a little show downstairs on the stage, and then they'll come up here and have their family follow, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's really, really neat. Yeah.
when people come here, that they're not just spending money, the money that is returned to the community at large in a number of different ways, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be a part of it, and it's wonderful to be able to help in whatever way we can.
We've had moms, approach us and say, I can't afford ballet shoes. I can't afford tap shoes. They're going to get their ballet shoes and tap shoes for sure, so we do that. And I don't think the community is really, really aware of that just yet. And so this is going to help. We want the word to get out. It's good stuff.
Really, really happy to be part of it. Really, really happy to participate, and really thrilled that you're taking the time to give us the exposure. Absolutely.
Anything else to say that you want to say?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm gonna close out for your neck of the woods, and this is the Elks Theater Performing Arts Center with two different sides. One's the theater, and one has all these different areas that you can rent for dance, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great thing in this community, and I'm glad you could watch this segment. Thank you.